a little Palo Santo. Just for setting the right tone. So I'm talking about a subject that has honestly plagued me for my entire life, and that is anxiety. Anxiety has been something that it's like almost like a constant companion with me. In Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert used it as an example of like, here's fear and anxiety, and almost like detectives that are going to frisk her that night. I've had anxiety about everything, whether I'm going to be late to school the next day, or if I'm going to get in trouble for something, to motherhood. It was like that just expedited it and made it even more so. I mean, there would be times where I would have panic attacks where my son's on his field trip thinking like, well, what if something happens with the bus, or his teacher's not watching him, and what if he gets kidnapped? And my mind would seriously go through these just absurd thoughts of just thinking the worst case scenario. Thank God none of that ever happened, but it was always bad that I was thinking of. It was always negative. It was never, what if he's having the best time of his life? What if this was really teaching him something? And I feel that a lot of it is programming as a child, especially your environment, if your family tended to be a bit more negative, or just in general. There's so many things that contribute to our anxiety. First of all, the food that we're eating definitely has a lot of hormones. It's not the food that you ate in the 50s or 60s, so that's a contributing factor, as well as, I mean, even the products that we're putting them on our skin. There's so many hormones in them. We have no idea how that's countering with our personal hormones, especially as women. Then you have your menstrual cycles, and you actually have children, and the postpartum depression, just the things that hit you, the lack of sleep, the lack of nutrients. I mean, let's be honest, juggling a baby and trying to keep yourself up is kind of crazy. So I know firsthand what it is to go through the anxiety, and it's still like a battle for me even to this day. And I, a lot of soul searching, a lot of reading, a lot of trying to figure out, try to find, it's funny, like we want to find like this easy fix. It's like an herb that we can take and then it's like, we did it, we're good, we're going to be perfectly fine. But it's not that simple. There's a reason why we're anxious. There's something that's inside of us, and we need to be able to identify. For me, it could be things that happened in my childhood that really affected me and have really brought it to light for me. So I'm so, what's the word? I guess inspired to talk about something that's really affected me and how I could help other women or men, just be able to handle it. And it really is getting out of your head, reading the books and understanding that like all of these thoughts that we have in here, they're not helping us. If anything, they're just pushing us down. I mean, it's like we're kind of like our own worst enemies, really what it is. And I smile about it, but I mean, it's true. Like, you could be a super attractive person, and if you don't feel that inside, or you don't have that confidence, then guess what? What is it worth? You look at yourself in the mirror, and it's just an example. And then you have somebody that may not be that attractive, but they have all the confidence in the world, and you're almost drawn to them, and you want to be around them. You're enamored by them. And what is that? That's their insides. Like, it's displaying it on the outside. So things that have really helped me with my anxiety have been eating correctly. Eating correctly really has helped me. Definitely no birth control. We can do that on another video, but birth control just kind of made me a basket case. I don't know who else. There's other options, but we'll get that in another video. Birth control, the food, the products that we're using, but you can eat the best, you can not be on birth control, you can take the best supplements, but if your mind is not right, then there's nothing you can do about that. You have to be able to fix the mind. And more than anything, be able to be okay with when your mind is not allowing yourself to get to that point. I mean, I would get to the point where I would have full-on panic attacks and lying on the floor, like shaking, and just like my heart's beating so fast, and that's not going to help us. That's not going to help anybody. So being able to control your inside, and it's something as simple as whenever I feel myself spiraling out of control, I automatically say hello. And it interrupts your thought process. It interrupts the anxiety and the panic attack. You say hello, hello. It just kind of stops it at that exact moment. So saying hello has helped me. Also laying down and breathing and realizing that like this problem, whatever I think is so bad, it's so magnificent that I can't, get past it. Is it really gonna plague me in 5 years? Is it gonna plague me even in a year? Probably not. I mean, I think we make up these things in our heads, and they're so big in our heads, but in reality, they're not that big. So things that have been helping me, hello, breathing, and really just laying there and just saying, okay, I have air in my lungs, I have food, I have a home. These are things to build off of. Okay, let's go to the next thing. It's we're just so much in our head. I think especially as a woman, I feel like I over dramatize a lot of things as well. It's like I've got to move next month and it's the end of the world because I have to move. No, it's not. There's so many ways. It's just how do you choose to perceive the situation? So let's go back. Eating well, no hormones, trying to limit the product and the hormones that are in your products, avoiding birth control, sitting with yourself, meditating, stretching, getting a workout in every single day. Because if your body hurts, who are you going to be good for? You have to, not good for in like physically looking, I mean like who are you going to be able to help? Like your kids, your friends, your job. No, you have to stretch. You have to take that time. If you don't take that time for yourself, I mean, like I said, how are you going to be good for anybody else? You have to make yourself a priority. And I know as moms, I say this all the time, you learn, not sleeping 8 hours. I had a colicky baby, and you go 8 hours without sleeping sometimes. And you learn to push yourself back, because in our minds, that's what selfless love is. That's what motherhood is. And it's only going to be a couple years like this. But there's options. There's people that you can have help you. Sometimes you gotta let them cry. Sorry, but it's true. There's things that you can do to make your situation better. And that's really what I'm trying to bring light of, is just, I was a single mom and I know what it's like, and it is hard. This rant ended up being a single mom, but no, it is about anxiety. So other things that you can do are, besides the exercise, besides the breathing, besides the meditating, and trust me, meditating, I'm gonna do a whole other episode on meditating, because that's been a challenge for me. So, I mean, that's like an ever-evolving process. But even if you can get yourself to sit still for 2 minutes and just clear your mind, that's a start. So leave comments. Let me know what you guys have done that's worked for you. Just sharing things that have helped me. Thanks, guys.